Hey guys, so today we're doing Mythos by Stephen Fry. It's a really, really dope book. Sorry, I've already said like 10 words. I need to have a Bailey's to replenish the vocal cords. Mythos by Stephen Fry is by far one of the most entertaining books I've ever listened to. I've never been much of a fiction sort of reader. I think fiction's incredibly beneficial because you get to actually see the real narrative. Non-fiction's about the narrative of your life, and fiction's about the narrative of someone else's, and it's infinitely relatable. So, I think it was really good. So essentially, what he does, Stephen Fry, is in his own words, he has broken down. I'd say pretty much every single ancient Greek myth. He even talks about, other stories that have then stemmed from those myths. And he has talked about just like, inspiration for Shakespeare, inspiration for all sorts of other texts which have essentially transcended time. And then you can also look at the hero's journey. You can look at why these texts have lasted the test of time with their arcs and their ups and their downs, and how different the Greek gods were to the gods that we portray today, and how they're much more human. They're much more susceptible to their own downfall and to their own flaws, and how there's so many of them. They've got their own little society, and I think the story. There's also lots of parallels to Jesus and Muhammad and the Jews and whatnot. All sorts of different religions today. You see all sorts of different comparisons, and it's just one of those books. And Stephen Fry is just so funny. He's so funny, and you can go to my YouTube channel. It's called Grant Loxton, where I do a Stephen Fry. A tree is a bit like an idea, where I wrote my own little thing looking at trees, and it was all inspired by Stephen Fry. So, ladies and gentlemen, you got to check that out. I'm not going to get into my favorite. My favorite myth is the myth of Eros and Psyche. It's just so beautiful. I just love it. Absolutely love it. So, guys, Mythos, Stephen Fry, definitely worth a listen. I'll see you next time, next book.